Ladies and gentlemen, let me make one thing clear right now. Success will never come at a discount.
And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because success begins in the soil of sacrifice. Nothing great, nothing lasting, not truly meaningful is ever achieved without giving something up from the tight, because we live in a world that celebrates instant gratification, microwave meals, fast money, quick results. But success, real life altering generational success, and unfortunately taken down from the TED site because that doesn't work like a vending machine. It works like a farm. You plant, you water, and before the joy, you sacrifice the seed. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because that seed could have been consumed, could have been kept, could have been stored. But you chose to bury it. Why? And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because you believe the future harvest more than the present pleasure. Sacrifice what separates the dreamers from the doers. Everybody has a dream. And unfortunately, it was taken from the TED site but only the few are willing to pay the cost. That cost shows up in many forms. It's the time you spend studying while others are binge watching. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because it's early mornings when your body craves sleep, but your destiny demands discipline. It's saying no to now so you can say yes to later. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because most people aren't willing to do that. Most people aren't willing to pay full price. They want the discount version of success, the shortcut, the loophole. And unfortunately, down from the TED site but success doesn't go on sale. It never has. And that's why sacrifice becomes the proof of desire. The more you're willing to sacrifice, and unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site, the clearer it becomes how badly you want it. You want to build something big, then get ready to give up something small. Sometimes it's comfort. And unfortunately, in views down from the TED site, because it's convenient. Sometimes it's the approval of people who don't even believe in you. And unfortunately, it was taken down the TED site because you might have to walk away from habits that feel good but rob your future. I might leave relationships that keep you rooted in mediocrity. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because you might even have to sacrifice your own pride and admit you need guidance, help, mentorship. That's the painful truth of you before you can elevate. And unfortunately, if I was taken down from the TED site because you must eliminate what you let go determines how far you can go. And let me be clear, sacrifice doesn't always feel spiritual. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because sometimes that feels a frustration. Sometimes it looks like tears at 3 a.m. when no one's watching. Sometimes it feels like being misunderstood. It was taken down from the site because even by the people you love. But every minute you invest in your dream, every dollar, every ounce of energy, because it was taken down from the TED site. Every hard decision you make is a down payment on your destiny. The people who make it to the top are not the most talented, and unfortunately taken down from the TED site because they're the ones who were willing to burn the bridge back to average. Don't expect applause in the season of sacrifice. Don't expect recognition. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because sacrifice is often lonely. It's quiet. It happens in the shadows. But let me tell you, just because no one sees it doesn't mean it doesn't matter. And unfortunately, it was taken from because taken down from the TED is watching. The universe of supple, of sowing and reaping is watching. And it always pays back more than it took. Not right away, but eventually. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because that's what faith is for, to carry you through the season of sacrifice, even if you haven't seen the reward yet. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because sometimes the biggest sacrifice is choosing between two good things. It's choosing purpose over popularity. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because it's choosing to build the business instead of blowing the bonus. It's choosing to invest in yourself when it would be easier to stay stagnant. It was taken down from the TED site because it's choosing growth over gossip, learning over laziness, progress over procrastination. These are the silent, unseen choices that shape your life. And unfortunately, view was taken down from the TED site, and the deeper the sacrifice, the greater the potential reward. If it doesn't stretch you, it won't grow you. If it doesn't cost you, it won't change you. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because if it doesn't challenge you, it won't promote you. You can't life of greatness while clinging to a lifestyle of comfort. Something has to give. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because that's the law, that's the system, that's the truth. Some people want the dream but don't want the discipline. They want the results without the routine. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because they want the spotlight without the sacrifice. And that's why they stay stuck, because you cannot elevate while holding on to everything. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because you can't reach for the future with your hands full of the past. Success requires that you lay something down so you can pick something else up. And unfortunately, it was taken down the TED site because when you sacrifice, you're not losing. You're making space, you're creating room, you're preparing capacity. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because the seed that dies in the ground doesn't disappear, it multiplies. And in due season, if you don't faint, you will reap. Taken down from the TED site but the reaping only comes after the giving, after the letting go. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the punish site because hard work is not a punish. It's not a curse. It's a principle. It's the currency that buys your future. And like any real currency, And unfortunately, taken down from the TED site because it has to be spent daily, intentionally, and without excuse. We live in a world where people want the reward without the labor. They unfortunately taken down from this. They want to stand on the stage but skip the steps. But the truth is, every mountain climbed, every business built, every legacy created was paid for with hours. And unfortunately, it's taken down from the TED site because sweat and consistent effort. You can have a dream, you can have a vision, but if you don't have the grind, it's worthless. The TED site, because a blueprint without a builder is just a fantasy. A goal without work is just a wish. Hard work is not sexy. It's not glamorous. No one claps for your effort in the dark. No one celebrates the nights you stayed up building, studying, preparing. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site but that's where success is formed, in the quiet, thankless hours. That's where champions are made, not in front of the lights, but behind the scenes. Taken down from the TED site because every great thing you admire came from someone refusing to quit when it was easier to rest. Someone who chose discipline over distraction. And unfortunately, taken down from the TED site because someone who didn't need a cheerleader moving because their purpose was louder than their pain. And unfortunately, taken down from a TED site because the problem with most people is they treat work like an event instead of a lifestyle. They treat effort like a mood instead of a mindset. And more from the TED site because they work when they feel good, but let me tell you, feelings don't build futures. You can't wait until you're in the mood to work. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because you showed up because you made a decision, not because you're motivated. Motivation is seasonal. Hard work is daily. You don't build muscle in a single workout. Taken down from the TED site and you don't build wealth with a single opportunity. It's about showing up over and over until your consistency compounds into results. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because everybody wants to be a beast, but few want to do what beasts do. A lion doesn't eat because it wishes for a meal. It hunts, it stalks, it works. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the underside and then it eats. You've got to understand that wishing, hoping, and dreaming are only the beginning. They don't move the needle. And unfortunately, taken down from the TED site because they don't build the business. They don't close the deal. Only work does. Real work, focused work when no one is watching. Taken down from the TED site because work when everyone else is playing. Work when it's inconvenient, because greatness isn't found in convenience. It's born in commitment. And I was taken down from the TED site. The hard work forces you to become someone new. It chisels you, refines you. You can't fake it. You can't outsource it. You've got to go through it. The process is the price. And the process is hard. That's why most people don't do it. But when you work hard, and unfortunately it was taken down from the TED site because you gain more than the goal. You gain identity. You look in the mirror and see someone who didn't quit, someone who showed up, someone who earned it. And unfortunately it was taken down from the TED site because in that confidence, that self-respect, that's worth more than the money. It doesn't matter what you were born with. It doesn't matter from the tech side. It doesn't matter what side of town you came from. What matters is how you respond to opportunity. Taken down from the TED site because either the playing field isn't level, but work is the great equalizer. You may not be the most talented, the most educated, or unfortunately taken down from the TED site, or the most connected. But if you are willing to outwork everyone in the room, doors will open. They have to. Because effort speaks louder than excuses. And unfortunately taken down from the TED site and results don't care about your background, they care about your input. People love to talk about success like it's a formula, but really it's a fight. Taken down from the TED site because a fight against laziness, a fight against excuses, a fight against quitting when it gets hard. You don't get handed success. You take it. You earn it. It was taken down from the TED site and you don't do it once, you do it over and over until it becomes who you are, until it becomes your standard, and down from the TED site. Because until average makes you uncomfortable and mediocrity feels like poison, hard work is the test that most people fail, not because they can't pass. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because they won't try. It's not that people are weak. It's that they're distracted. They're chasing shortcuts. They're avoiding discomfort. And unfortunately, taken down from the TED site but the truth is, discomfort is where the breakthrough lies. Pain is the passage. Resistance is the requirement. If it's easy, it's not worth it. Taken down from the TED site because if it's hard, lean in. That's where your growth is. That's where your power is. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because that's where your future is waiting for you to show up, not with a wish list, but with work boots. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because comfort is one of the most deceptive forces in your life. It whispers to you with soft words, telling you you've done enough, telling you to slow down. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because to take it easy, to enjoy what you have, it convinces you that progress can wait, that growth is optional, that your best days are behind you. Taken down from the TED site but let me tell you the truth, comfort is not your friend. It's not a reward. It's not a blessing. Comfort is a trap. It lulls you into inactivity. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site. It breeds complacency. It convinces you that where you are is good enough, when deep down, you know you were born for more. Taken down from the TED site because the enemy of greatness isn't failure, it's comfort. Failure sharpens you. It teaches you. It humbles you. Comfort, on the other hand, numbs you. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because it steals your urgency. It erases your hunger. It makes you believe that motion is progress when all you're doing is running in place. Taken down from the TED site because as people think danger only comes from chaos and struggle, but sometimes the most dangerous place you can be is where everything feels okay. But unfortunately, it was taken down from heaven's sight because when everything is okay, you stop striving, you stop building, you stop pushing. And the moment you stop pushing is the moment your purpose starts fading. From the men's side, because nothing significant ever from a comfort zone, not a business, not a movement, not a legacy. The comfort zone is the graveyard of potential. And that's why he was taken down from the TED site, because it's where dreams are buried, not because people lacked ability, but because they lacked urgency. Comfort convinces you to lower the bar. Taken down from the TED site because to settle for good enough, to choose stability over destiny, but you were not created for safe. You were not made for average. You were designed to expand. Taken down from the TED site because to multiply, to evolve, and that only happens under pressure. Growth doesn't live in comfort. Growth lives in resistance. It lives in challenge. TED site because it lives in the awkward, the unfamiliar, the uncomfortable. And if you want to grow, you have to go where it's uncomfortable. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because you have to do things you don't feel ready for. You have to walk into rooms where you don't feel qualified. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because you have to stretch beyond what you think you're capable of. Because that's where transformation happens. Not in the familiar, but in the unfamiliar. And it was taken down from the TED site because not in the risk. The comfort zone is predictable. You know what to expect. You know how to perform. And unfortunately, it's taken down from the TED site but predictability won't lead you to your potential. It will lead you to repetition. You can spend your whole life doing the same thing. It was taken down from the TED site because getting the same results, convincing yourself that consistency is success. But consistency without progression is stagnation. It's movement without direction, and unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site and that's what comfort does to the illusion of progress while keeping you stuck in place. It's easy to justify comfort. It sounds reasonable. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site. But you tell yourself you worked hard. You tell yourself you deserve rest. You tell yourself you're doing better than most. But better than most is not your standard. Good enough is not your goal. It was taken down from the TED site. You're not running a race against other people. You're racing against your own potential. And every time you choose comfort over challenge, and unfortunately it was taken down from the TED site because you delay the version of you that's waiting on the other side of effort. The price of greatness is discomfort. It's long nights, it's tough decisions. And unfortunately taken down from the TED site because it's choosing discipline when everyone else is choosing ease. It's making moves that scare you, that stretch you, that force you to become more. And yes, and unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because it's risky. Yes, it's tiring, but that's the path. There is no breakthrough without pressure. There is no strength without resistance. It's taken down from the TED site because there is no excellence without effort. Comfort is the counterfeit currency of success. It looks valuable, but it won't buy you anything real. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site. Some people think discomfort is a sign to stop, but in reality, it's a sign you're in the right place. It means you're not coasting. And unfortunately, it means you're not from TED site because it means you're still reaching, still building, still growing. Discomfort is the signal that you're alive with purpose. Taken down from the TED site because the moment you stop feeling uncomfortable is the moment you stop growing. And when you stop growing, you start dying internally, spiritually. Unfortunately, taken down from the TED site because emotionally, you may still be breathing. Your purpose is shrinking. Your fire is fading. Your vision is dimming. Comfort keeps you thinking small from the TED site because it keeps you surrounding yourself with people who never challenge you, habits that never stretch you and sit you, and decisions that never grow you. And unfortunately, taken down from the TED site because it creates a shell around your life, a nice, safe, predictable shell. But that shell becomes your cage. You've got to break it. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because you've got to choose the path that pushes you. You've got to run toward discomfort, not away from it, because that's where your purpose lies. The TED site, because that's where your power wakes up. That's where your next level is waiting. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the site because each site faith without action is fantasy. It's noise. It's a declaration without demonstration. You can believe all you want. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the site because speak all the affirmations you want, write down every goal in perfect handwriting with colored markers and neat bullet points. But if you don't move, and unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because if you don't act, You don't execute. None of it means any faith is not proven by what you feel or say. It's proven by what you do. And unfortunately, and down from the TED site, because if you say you believe in the vision, but you aren't taking steps toward it every day, then it's not faith, it's entertainment. And unfortunately, down from the TED site, because real faith doesn't just imagine moves, it steps forward when the outcome is uncertain and the path is unclear. And unfortunately, Milieu was taken down from the TED site because there are too many people who talk like giants and move like mice. They shout about destiny, but won't discipline themselves. It was fortunate down from the TED site because they talk about purpose, but avoid pressure. They want supernatural results with natural effort. But faith is not a passive concept. It's a power source. And that was taken down from the TED site because the engine behind bold action, it doesn't wait for perfect timing or ideal circumstance. It acts now. It acts in the middle of doubt. 10 on Taide's site, because it acts when the odds are stacked. Faith doesn't need certainty, it needs obedience. It needs movement, it needs a decision. You don't need more motivation. And unfortunately down, it was taken from the TED site because you don't need another casting conference, another strategy session. You need to do what you already know to do. And unfortunately down from the TED site because people say they're waiting for a sign, but the truth is they're avoiding the work. Faith is not waiting for a sign. Faith is the sign. And unfortunately it was taken down from the TED site because it's the evidence of things not seen, the proof that you believe by the steps you take. You don't walk on water until you get out of the boat. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because you don't see the walls fall until you march. You don't experience them through until you break out of hesitation. Movement activates momentum. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because obedience opens doors. There's a reason some people never see the manifestation of their potential. It's not because they didn't hear the call. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because it's because they didn't answer it, procrastinated. They hesitated, they overthought. And while they were thinking, someone else was doing. And unfortunately, view was taken down from the TED site because while they were analyzing, someone else was building. While they were doubting, someone else was dominating. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because that's the difference between those who win and those who watch. The winners moved on what they believed, even when they were scared. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because even when they weren't ready, it's easy to say you have faith when everything looks good, but faith shows up when it's hard. When the money's tight, and it was taken down from the TED site because the support is low, the plan is unclear. That's when real faith is tested. That's when it separates itself from hype and fantasy. And unfortunate down the TED site because if your belief can't survive resistance, then it was never faith to begin with. Faith isn't fragile, it doesn't crumble under pressure. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because it digs deeper. It leans in when it would be easier to quit. Faith will always require action. It doesn't let you sit still. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because it doesn't give you permission to coast. It compels you to build, to create, to pursue, to push, even when the outcome is uncertain. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because even when the results are delayed, faith keeps you working. It doesn't wait for the door to open. It builds a new door. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because it doesn't ask for permission. It takes responsibility. It doesn't pray and sit. It doesn't praise and moves. It asks and acts. It believes and builds. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because you can't separate faith from effort. You can't expect miracles without movement. You can't ask for multiplication when you're unwilling to sow. And unfortunately, in the video, it was taken down from the site because some people are frustrated because they don't see results, but they planted anything. They haven't started. They haven't sacrificed. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because they're hoping something magical will happen. But magic doesn't make dreams real. Motion does. Sweat does. Late nights and early mornings do. And unfortunately, down from the TED site because faith isn't about ease. It's about endurance. The gap between you are, and want to be is not filled by wishing. It's filled by working. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because it's built one step at a time, one action at a time. You don't get to the next level by thinking about it. You get there by fighting for it. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because belief is the foundation, but building is the process. Faith gives you the blueprint. Obedience lays the bricks. And brick by brick, step by step. And unfortunately, taken down from the TED site because action by action, you go from believing to becoming. Your future doesn't respond to what you believe. It responds to what you do with what you believe. Unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site and that's why you can't afford to sit back and wait. You were not called to be a spectator. You were created to be a builder, a mover, a force. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because faith is your power, but action is your weapon. When they move together, you don't just hope for change, you create it. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because the reason most people never experience true success is not because they don't have the talent, not because they don't have the vision. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site and not because they weren't given opportunities. It's because they never developed discipline. Discipline is the bridge between desire and destiny. It was taken down from the TED site because it's the path that turns dreams into results. Everybody wants the outcome, but few are willing to commit to the process. Unfortunately, it was taken down from the tech site, and the process isn't always exciting. It's not flashy, it's not full of applause. Discipline is about doing what needs to be done, and unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because even when you don't feel like doing it, it's about keeping promises to yourself long after the mood you made them in has faded. Taken down from the TED site because the truth about discipline is that it demands consistency. Anyone can be disciplined for a day. Anyone can push hard when they're inspired. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site but discipline is tested on the ordinary days, when you feel tired, when no one is watching, when the pressure is real and the results are invisible. That unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site. That's when discipline speaks loudest. It says you don't need a perfect environment to execute. It says you don't need external motivation to move. Unfortunately, it's taken down from the TED site because it says you've made a decision and your actions are no longer controlled by your emotions. That's power. That's maturity. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because that's the kind of character that builds legacies. Most people don't fail because of lack of knowledge. They fail because of lack of follow through. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because they know what to do, but they don't do it long enough to see the result. And they plant the seed, but they walk away before it takes root. They start the journey, taken down from the TED site, but they quit at the first sign of resistance. It was what keeps you moving forward when inspiration runs dry. It turns intention into execution. And that unfortunately because execution compounds into success over time. You don't need to be the most gifted. You need to be the most consistent. And unfortunately, it was taken out from the TED site because you need to outlast the obstacles. You need to out-discipline your distractions. Discipline means doing it when it's boring. It was taken down from the TED site because it means showing up when it's tough. It means sticking to the schedule, honoring the routine, respecting the commitment. And that's not easy. What was taken down from the tech site because the world is filled with distractions. Social media, entertainment, opinions, comfort. All of it pulling you away from your purpose. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because discipline is the guardrail that keeps you on track. It's the system that protects your progress. It's the internal standard that says it was taken down from the TED site because I don't negotiate with my purpose. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. And discipline is the system that keeps your life aligned with your destiny. When you build discipline, and unfortunately, it's taken down from the TED site because you don't just transform your habits. You transform your identity. You begin to see yourself differently. And unfortunately, down from TED site because you stop being someone who tries and starts becoming someone who does. Someone who finishes, someone who follows through. Taken down from the TED site and that shift in identity is everything. Because once you see yourself as disciplined, you begin to act in alignment with that identity. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because you don't skip the gym. You're the kind of person who trains. You don't procrastinate on your business. You're the kind of person who builds. And unfortunately, taken down from the TED site because you don't chase motivation, you carry momentum. Discipline requires boundaries. It demands that you say no to what doesn't align, no to the late nights, tied to the endless side because no to the endless scrolling, no to the relationships that drain you, no to the habits that sabotage your focus. Saying no is not about deprivation, it's about elevation. Every no to distraction is a yes to destiny. Taken down from the TED site because every boundary you set is a wall protecting your greatness. And those boundaries aren't easy to enforce. They'll be tested. You'll be tempted. Unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site but if you hold the line long enough, your results will begin to speak so loudly that no explanation will be needed. Taken down from the TED site because there will be days when your emotions try to hijack your effort. Days when your body wants to rest more than it wants to rise. The TED site because days when your mind will offer excuses dressed up as reasons. And on those days, discipline steps in. It silences the excuses. It anchors you to your commitment. I'm unfortunate, Katie. From the TED site, this reminds you why you started. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. It cares what you've decided. And that decision is what determines your direction. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because you can't delegate discipline. You can't outsource it. No one can do the reps for you. No one can build your habits for you. This is your work. Taken down from the TED site, your business to build, your book to write, your legacy to shape, and every day you operate in discipline. Pause to the TED site because you build that legacy one brick at a time. The world doesn't give trophies for effort, rewards execution. And execution is born in the fire of discipline. And I was taken down from the TED site because it's not always glamorous. It's not always exciting, but it's always effective. And unfortunately, it was taken down from the TED site because discipline is what makes the difference between the person who almost did and the one who actually did.